For the next 2 months, you, me, and our class of MS Challengers are going to be exercising, stretching, and encouraging each other to stay positive and accountable. Together, we are the MS Fitness Challengers. From now on until the next 8 weeks, we're putting all of our worries, our negativities, our concerns away. From this day on, we're going to be taking the time to focus on ourselves, to exercise, stretch, and increase our strength so we can have more energy, gain more mobility, and be more independent. This challenge is now officially closed for the general public. By not allowing anyone else to sign up, I'm able to get to know you and this particular group of MS Challengers for the next 8 weeks. Take this challenge seriously. Block 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week to perform the exercise sessions. This challenge doesn't stop, it keeps moving. So make sure you're staying up to date each week. The way this challenge works is simple. Each week you'll receive an email with your new exercise sequence that our team put together. Your objective is to perform the entire exercise sequence 2 to 3 times a week and write down your results. Don't forget that. That's it. It's very simple and it's all accessed through your phone or any device with internet access. I encourage you all to use the Facebook group that we created just for this particular group of MS Challengers. As the 8 weeks progress, I'll be asking you to share your results or to film yourselves performing movements on that group. It's crucial to use that group to support and help each other as we go through these next 8 weeks. The goal is that we all start getting to know each other, become friends, make connections, motivate each other, and show love for one another. That's the most important thing, love. Community is the best motivation for staying committed to exercise, and I need your participation to make it happen. When the 8 weeks are done, there'll be a special graduation ceremony whereby you will receive your graduation certificate PDF. It'll be signed by me, kind of like the one I got from Arnold. And I know you'll probably be thinking, that's not the same thing, but I disagree. I was a bodybuilder, I knew how to exercise, but most likely you're not a bodybuilder like I was. You're starting from scratch, learning a completely new technique and building a new lifestyle. Your graduation certificate means more to me than Arnold's award because it's about helping all of you and not just me. Remember, this 8-week challenge is now only available to you because you've signed up. Take it seriously. Participate in the Facebook group. Keep up with each week. Put your effort into each exercise. Challenge your muscles, and I promise you, you'll see results not only after the 8 weeks is done, but during it as well. So let's get started. In this first week's class, we have a lot to cover. First, you're going to learn how to exercise using the steady pace technique. Now I say the because nobody else has it. Then we'll show you how to use your PDF progress journal that you've already downloaded so you can measure your progress and know where you're getting stronger and where you need to improve. After you've got the basics down, we'll be performing your first set of strength training exercises. The goal of week 1 is to ease you into the steady pace technique. It's okay to feel a little overwhelmed at first. Learning anything new is hard. Stick with it, and it will all start to make sense. Now let's head over to Austin, Texas, to the renowned Central Texas Neurological Clinic so you can learn how to perform the steady pace technique safely and effectively.
This is our proprietary clock system, and it will help guide your pace so that you don't move too fast, which is a common response when anyone is exercising at a high intensity level. Unlike traditional exercise, each of our reps is 7 seconds going up and 7 seconds going down. Our bodies have a tendency to want to move faster as we begin to exhaust the muscles. So, by following the 7-second countdown, you're allowing your muscles to get the very best engagement possible. And that is crucial in strength training. So let me show you a real quick example of how it works. Here is a normal squat. Pretty easy, right? My heart rate didn't increase. I didn't feel a burn in my legs at all. Okay, now let's take a look at a steady pace squat. You're gonna use the steady pace timer to count it down. 7, smooth. 6, 5, slow. Let the muscles lead the movement. Body's gonna wanna quit. Don't do it though. Pause. Now 7, slow here. 6, 5, 4, breathing. 3, 2, and relax. Wow. Feel the difference? When you go slow, your heart rate starts to elevate. I started to feel a little bit more of a burn in my muscles. You get much more of an engagement out of the movement. And this slow motion exercise, or what we call steady pace, is why MS Workouts is so effective at gaining strength and keeping you safe.
The ability to measure your progress to prove that you're getting stronger is a hallmark of MS Workouts, and we make it very easy. To measure progress, please make sure you've downloaded the PDF Progress Journal. You'll notice that on the left column are the names of the exercises. Then you'll see a column for time. Each of our exercises will last 1 minute 30 seconds. The goal in each exercise is to perform the movement until you exhaust the targeted muscles. Once you can no longer perform the movement, you'll write down the time that you stopped. If, for example, you perform a heel slide and get to 15 seconds before you have to stop, then you'll write down 15 seconds in your progress journal next to the exercise name under the first column. 15 seconds is now your reference point. The next time you perform the heel slide, you'll try to beat that 15 seconds. Measuring your progress is crucial and beneficial because it visually demonstrates improvement and gives you a way of setting goals and conquering them. Lastly, let's talk about safety. Here are 6 important safety tips before you start exercising. 1. Keep a cold bottle of water next to you and drink it frequently, preferably between each exercise. 2. Have 1 or more fans blowing directly on you. 3. Turn down your thermostat to 68 degrees or cool. 4. If you have long hair, tie it up off your neck. 5. If you don't feel comfortable exercising alone, then schedule time when a friend or family member can be there with you. And 6. Remove any hazardous objects like tables with sharp corners from your exercise area. Following these measures will help you to keep your body cool, hydrated, and ready for activity. Make sure to focus on having proper form during each exercise. If you need extra time to rest or observe the form, feel free to pause the screen. There's never a need to rush into things. Go at your own pace and always listen to your body.
One thing I want to mention before we get started on the session, it will be quick, I promise. When you're performing the workouts, you do not need to be lifting your arm or leg as much as Jeff does. This is called range of motion. What's important isn't that you're achieving full range of motion. What's important is that you are fully exhausting your muscles. And what do I mean by fully exhausting your muscles? Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. I mean that you should not be able to finish the entire exercise all the way through. Fully exhausting the muscles means getting to that point where you can no longer perform the movement because the burn is too uncomfortable or you're starting to lose form. If you're able to finish the exercise completely, then it's too easy and you need to increase the resistance to make it harder. Remember, we build muscles from challenging them. The more effort you put into challenging them, the more you'll get stronger. All right, MS Challengers, let's do this.
We're going to execute a steady pace metabolic static hold armchair push-up. Whether you have armrests on your chair or no armrest, we're going to use the wheels or the armrests. All right, let's make sure we scoot forward. We're going to straighten our legs, flex our ankles. This exercise is going to work your triceps, back of your arms, the anterior delts with the shoulders, and the chest, upper body in general. This is great for functional strength movement, getting in and out of the chair and allowing you to be confident in your strength and body. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to test this range of motion. We're going to press through hands at the top so that you're able to lift your rear end off the seat. Notice shoulders are depressed, slight bend in the elbows. All right, we will engage until we get to the point where we can no longer continue with proper form. All right, here we go. In 2 seconds, back is flat. 1, let's begin. Slowly press through, elevate up, drop the shoulders. One of the things Tino stresses in regards to this armchair push-up is make sure you're able to clear your bottom up off of the seat. You're not using your feet, we're letting the upper body engage. If you need to remove a cushion from underneath the actual seat in your chair, do so. Allow yourself the ability to extend that upper body and lift that body up off of this chair. Breathing freely, dropping the shoulders, keeping the slight bend. It protects the elbows. Look at you go, Miss Elizabeth. Woo-hoo. Actively engaging. In through the nose, out through the mouth. When you get to the point where you can no longer continue with proper form, that's a success. Don't force a set. Slowly lower the hips, note in your mind on the clock where you found the successful spot so we can then record at the end of the set. You'll shake out that burn, attempt to go back in to the proper form, disengaged. Good, Miss Elizabeth, making a note. Miss Elizabeth, did you make a note where you found that disengagement?
45.
Perfect, so she'll remember that. As soon as she can, she's gonna jump back in and attempt to continue to work through the set. If you need hand cushions underneath your hands during the set, do so. Plan for that before the exercise set. Drop the shoulders, slight bend. We're in that exhaust zone. Shake is natural. Now remember, make sure that fan is on us. Make sure you're not overheating. If you feel yourself getting dizzy, nauseated, overheated, disengage. Don't be stubborn. Come back when you're ready and feeling cool. All right, here we go. Drop shoulders, slight bend, take what we can. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Holy moly, I'm getting close.
Yeah.
Calming that mind. 1, now all of us slowly disengaging. Excellent. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and make sure we're grabbing that progress journal. We're going to write down where we found the disengagement. Notice Miss Elizabeth found the disengagement before the 60 seconds. That is perfectly okay. Her goal next time in regards to her progress is okay, not plus or minus. And go ahead and make a note, Miss Elizabeth, that you want to try to make sure you pass that 48 seconds that you did last time. Most important thing is to give your best effort with proper form. We're going to execute an eccentric leg extension, unilateral movement, so we're separating out left and right. That way, if you have one weaker than the other, we can really focus and isolate on that one and let us get the most out of the exercise. We're going to hold for 4 seconds, lower for 10, relax for 3 seconds, reset. The goal is to hit 4, 5, or 6 reps ideally, which will take us no longer than 1.5 minutes of time under tension. We're isolating our quadricep or thigh, which will increase the functional ability of this lower body. Injury resistance, functional ability. That's why we do it, right?
Yep.
Okay, if you cannot, extend your knee all the way up and hold for 4 seconds and lower for 10 and bring the heel down. That's okay. We've got a modification for you. We're going to slide the band underneath, just like Miss Elizabeth is, your femur or your thigh. You're going to lift the thigh up and you'll elevate from that manner. That way the thigh does the work and you're not assisting the muscle. All right, let's go ahead and lift the knee up. If you're using the band, do so. Let's extend the leg in the air and hold. Breathe in freely, extend the knee completely. Now lowering for 10 seconds or slower. As you come down, you're thinking about bending the knee. As you come down to the ground, the heel will touch in 2, 1. Now relax for 2, 1. Now let's extend that knee all the way back out. Right now it's locked out. We're flexing that thigh, flex the ankle. Now slowly lower 10 seconds or slower. You're going to feel that thigh burn. Breathe into the nose, out to the mouth. 2, 1, and relax. Perfect. Now extend all the way out. Squeeze and hold at the top. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, now 10 seconds or slower. It may start to shake, it may start to rattle, it may start to roll, that's fine. It's the intent to engage these muscles neurologically that's going to prompt the change in the body. Relaxing 2, should start to feel a burn. 1, let's extend the knee all the way out, flex it for 2 more seconds, flex it for 1 more second, now bending slowly. Yes, ma'am. If you get to the point during the set where you can't continue with proper form, you note that in the progress journal, knowing that you successfully did it. You exhausted your muscle. We're relaxed. Follow the graphics. We're coming all the way up. We're flexing and holding. Yep, 2 more seconds. 1 more second. Slowly lowering. Miss Elizabeth fully exhausted her muscles right at that 60-second mark, which is perfect. That means we got the most out of the body and we're prompting change. Relax, and that change is muscular strength. All right, here we go, all the way up. Squeeze and hold. Breathe in freely, 1 second at a time. Final effort together, 10 seconds or slower. Notice I'm even shaking right here. My quadriceps are fatigued. That's what we want. I'm clearly communicating those boogers for 2, 1, and relax completely. Whew, deep burn. Really focused on squeezing that thigh, elevating, and taking the most you can from your body. Great job, Elizabeth. We're going to execute an eccentric leg extension, unilateral movement, isolating the quadricep on our left side, which is going to increase the functional ability and strength of your lower body. Now, we have 2 variations. We've talked about it. If you cannot bring your leg all the way out, hold for 4 seconds and lower it to the ground for 10 seconds or slower, then you can use a band to assist yourself to give you some elevation to extend. Now, if you cannot even extend your leg on the way up, even if you lift it, that's okay. You can then slide that band down underneath the calf and literally help yourself to full extension. As you're lowering, try to slow down that lowering as much as possible as you lower. That's going to force the quadricep, rather, the muscle to engage. Ready to rock it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to full extension. We're going to hold and flex for 4 seconds. 3, flexing, 2, 1, now 10 seconds or slower. Very deliberate and controlled on lowering. Let the muscles lead the movement. The slower we go, the more the muscles are forced to engage. 2, 1 to the ground and relax for 3 seconds. Now let's go ahead and extend all the way to the air. Flex that thigh. Right now we're actively engaging it, trying to lock that knee out. Slowly lowering on the way down. Notice I'm postured, I'm sitting tall. My spine is straight, my pelvis is neutral to protect my lumbar in the seat. 1 and relax. Whew, already feeling a burn. Now all the way up, squeeze and engage, holding, max contraction, elevate as high as you can, keep the ankle flexed, now 10 seconds or slower. Think about bending that knee, keep it slow and controlled, let this body work. It's all about results for 2, 1, and relax, strengthening this left side. Extend into the air, we're rocking it, holding for 4 seconds, 3, breathing through that discomfort and that burn, slowly start to lower. Again, 10 seconds or slower. Really put those brakes on, make that muscle work, get the most out of the set. For 2, 1, and relax. We're there in the last 30 seconds. Let's extend back up, final 2 reps. Holding, flexing, reminding yourself while we're doing this, functional strength, right, of that lower body, independence of that lower body, smooth and controlled, flexing. I'm gonna start to shake, rattle, roll. I have no control over that. That's okay. For 2, 1, that's the muscles crying at me. 1 more here, all the way up. Best effort, flex and engage, squeezing, taking what we can. 2 more seconds. Now slowly start to lower. Final time we're lowering. Put the brakes on. Make them work extremely slow for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, good deep burn on this left side. Now make notations in your progress journal. Even if you're able to execute the entirety of the set, I would personally note my left leg really did shake, rattle, roll. There wasn't as much control, and that's perfectly natural and fine. We want to be measured from time to time, so give yourself prompts. Continue to give your best effort, increase the difficulty, and attempt to fully exhaust. Let's execute a steady pace dynamic hip bridge, isolating our posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, and spinea erector. This is great for low back, lumbar health, stability, strength, and tighten and tone in that rear end. Let's go ahead and get into position. Miss Becky's going to lay flat. She can hit it with body weight to make sure her form gets down on point first. I'm going to slide my resistance band over my left foot. Notice the band is coming to the lateral side of my foot. I'm going to slide the band over the top of my legs, hips, coming across, and I'm going to anchor the band to my opposite foot from the lateral side. We are going to execute this set at a 7-7 tempo. I'm flattening the band as I lay down across my hips, my pelvis. Let's go ahead and elevate the hips into the air, squeeze the rear end, initiate moving down slowly for 7, 6. As you come down, take the rear end towards your heels. For 2, at the bottom, don't relax. Slowly head the other direction. Slow on the way up. Don't run off on us and go too quick. As you elevate to the top, 2, 1, squeeze the rear end, then back the other direction. Notice our knees are flared. We're staying through our heels the entire set. 1 to the bottom. Turn around. Now very slowly back the opposite direction. As you elevate, squeeze your rear end. Flare your knees. Elevate those hips. Feel a burn. Then back the other direction. Even on the lowering, squeeze the rear end. Focus on actively engaging the entire set. Heading back up slowly, no more than 130 to successfully exhaust these muscles. If your hamstrings cramp, all you do is slowly lower the hips down, straighten the leg out, the hamstring will uncramp, note the time, jump back in without resistance, right? Take what you can. That is the goal, fully exhausting these muscles with integrity-based form. Here we go. We're getting ready to head into that exhaust range. Elevate and squeeze. We're there. Slow back down. Focus on pressing evenly through both of these heels the entire set. We want even engagement. Heading back up. Should be feeling a fatigue in the hamstrings, a burn in the rear end. Elevate those hips. Should also be feeling a little bit in the spinea erector or low back. If you feel low back pain, disengage. Don't be stubborn. 1 to the turnaround, heading back up for the final time, slow and controlled, squeezing the rear end, taking what we can, elevate to the top, now slowly coming all the way down to the ground. If you have the resistance band, make sure it's coming off slowly before we disengage. Grabbing that progress journal, go ahead and make notations. Miss Becky, did you execute the entirety of the 130?
Yes.
It looked like it. I would suggest writing in there that you add resistance, add a colored band next time so we can continue to progressively increase the difficulty set and get the most out of it. Let's execute a steady pace metabolic ab crunch, isolating these abdominals. All right, here we go. We're gonna hit a static hold, then a micro movement, then a static hold. Notice we have our fan rocking, we have our thermostat down. We wanna give our neurological system the best chance at winning so we don't overheat. All right, here we go. We're going to go palms on the thighs. Here in a second, not yet, I'm gonna demo for us. Slide all the way up. The fingertips are straight arms towards the knees, and we're going to static hold. In this position, think about tucking your pelvic bone towards your chin. That little bit of a rotation in your pelvis gives you more abdominal work. You should not feel this in the neck. If you feel it in the neck, you slowly disengage, shake it out, then ease back in. Note that time. All right, here we go. You ready, Miss Becky?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Slowly ease up. Clock is on. Tuck in the pelvis. Think about relaxing our head. You can even drop your head back to a neutral position to make sure it's not going to be strained. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Almost like you're blowing air out of a straw. That's diaphragmatically breathing, making sure you're engaging these abdominals at a very high level, a meaningful level. All right, 7 seconds here, and then we're gonna move into a micro. We'll be keeping the arms straight, relaxing the shoulders, not lifting with the head, lifting with the torso, making these abdominals work. Slowly start to lower with me, everyone's eyes to me. Pause. Now very slowly back up. We're not relaxing. Pause. Back down slowly. Now pause. Up slowly. Breathe all the way to the lungs and contract. Then heading back down. feeling these abdominals work. Transition, working the rectus abdominals, transverse abdominals heading down, intercostals, pause, back up. All for a purpose, because we can be stronger than MS. We want a peripherally strong body. Transition, so if we want our central nervous system, one more micro movement, back up, becomes impeded or exacerbated, our muscles are strong, allows us to be confident and feel injury resistant. Here we go, crunching high. If and when you find that successful spot, you slowly ease out. Don't be stubborn. We're actively engaging these abdominals. Breathing freely, tuck that pelvis, take what you can, crunch it as high as you can, and focus on continuing to breathe. We are looking for 3 more seconds, crunching high, breathing freely, and slowly disengaging. Holy burn. Whew. Sitting tall, grabbing that progress journal. Becky, good job there. You rocked that set. Focus on tucking that pelvis, crunching high. If you were able to execute the entirety of the set, next time attempt to crunch a little bit higher, tuck that pelvis, getting a little bit more out of that exercise every time to continue to prompt results. Let's execute a steady pace, dynamic abduction laying on the floor. Unilateral work with our right leg. All right, let's go ahead and get into the starting position. Miss Becky's gonna go ahead and lay on her left side. I'm gonna wrap the band around, gonna add a little resistance and tension to this movement. All the way around. I'm gonna stretch it so that I can then hold it in place. We're laying on our left side. Let's straighten those legs. You can either prop yourself up on your elbow or lay all the way flat, whatever is most comfortable for you. Now, ankles are flexed, knees stacked on top. We're going hips up. Let's elevate slowly. Notice that we're elevating with the heel up, toe, knee rotated down. We're not forward with the leg is back in line with the body or slightly behind. Woo, band comes off, I'm gonna hold it. Now let's initiate movement down slowly for 7, 6, here we go, 5, 4, breathe in, 3, 2 to the bottom, turn around, 1, without relaxing, slowly elevating back up. Rotate the hip forward just a bit, elevating up and out. 2 to the top, turn around, 1, then back down. You should automatically feel on the lateral side a little bit of the glute med as well. Great for hip stability, strength of the low body. 1, then back the other direction, slow and controlled. Making sure that tension stays on the band the entire time. Elevating to the ceiling for 1, then back down. Holy burn already, all the way through the lateral side of my quad, my glute min. 1 to the bottom, turn around. Now very slow back up. As we elevate, take that leg high. If your range of motion is not what ours is, that's okay. You just elevate as high as you can. You wait for us at the top or slow your tempo down so that it's taking you 7 seconds to make it through the movement. As we come up, continue to kick the leg slightly back. Don't let it drift forward. We're getting ready to head into the last 30 seconds of the set. Don't force it. Breathe in freely. If you start to feel low back pain, nix the set. You should not. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Pause, back the other direction. Squeezing the abdominals every single breath out. Rocking and a rolling. Should feel a shake and a burn. Elevate, back down. This is great for hip strength. Tightening and toning the rear end and the thighs. As we come to the bottom, pause, should feel tension and slow back up for the final time. Elevating, breathing, squeezing for 1. Now very slow back the other direction. As we come down, wait till the leg hits the opposite, disengage. All right, grabbing those progress journals. Notice Miss Becky and myself both rocked the entire time. We are going to note in our progress journal that we need to add progression. We need to be getting close to and finding that spot where we can no longer continue with proper form in the last 30 seconds. I'm also going to make a notation of my chart that I didn't quite have the band and the resistance tight the entire time, so I'm going to focus on that next time. Safe, productive form to full exhaustion. let's execute a steady pace, dynamic abduction laying on our right side. Unilateral work, working the left side. All right, let's go ahead and get in position. I'm gonna add a little bit of resistance to the movement. Miss Becky is going to execute it without so she can make sure her form is in line before adding resistance. Now, even though this is a unilateral movement, we are working both sides. So understand and realize that the leg that's pushing down into the ground, it's exercising as well. Our primary focus is, you guessed it, the integrity of the form. All right, let's go ahead. Lay all the way flat down on the ground like Miss Becky is, or you can prop yourself up onto your elbow, whatever's most comfortable for you and your preference. Straight leg, feet stacked on top. We're gonna elevate all the way into the air, lead with the heel. Ooh, goodness gracious. Now, slowly initiate movement down, slowly. For 6, slowly, slowly. For 5, here we go. For 3, 2 to the bottom, turn around. 1, we're all heading back up deliberately. Notice the legs are straight. We're elevating up and back, don't come forward. 1 to the turnaround, now back down. You should automatically feel a burn and engagement on the lateral side, outside of your left leg as well as into your rear end. Pause, back the other way, go extremely slow. Elevate into the air for 2, squeezing 1, back through. You'll even feel it up a little bit higher into the top of that glute. Great for the obliques, side of the abdominals engaging as well as you high point at the top. We know we are looking to successfully exhaust the muscles with proper form. So when you get to the point where you cannot elevate all the way to the top and or your form is not crisp and safe anymore, you disengage, take the resistance off, and if you don't have resistance, note the time. Either way, just jump back in. Here we go, right back down. We're in the last 30 seconds. How you doing back there, Miss Becky?
Good.
Rocking and rolling. Pause at the bottom, head back the other direction, taking what we can. This is great for stability of your hips, great for muscular strength in the lower body. Holy burn, back the other direction. Final 15 seconds. Into the nose, out to the mouth. I know in my mind I may not be able to extend all the way back up next time. That's okay. Heading back the other direction. I'm gonna take what I can. I'm not gonna break form. You all are continuing up with that leg. I'm slowly easing out with everyone, and we are disengaging. Goodness gracious, making sure tension's off. Let's grab our progress charts. Whew! Notice I fully exhausted my muscles in the last 15 seconds of that set. I didn't force it. I came to the bottom turnaround. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go all the way back up. I gave it pressure, let the muscles be the ones that communicated to me. When I could no longer continue with proper form, instead of changing the form or speeding up, I let it stop in place. I noted the time in my head, which was 1:23, and then I slowly eased out. I'm writing in my progress journal and knowing next time I'm looking to get a little bit more out of my body. We're gonna execute our shoulder stretch, bilateral, both sides, left and right, 30 seconds each way. This is gonna lengthen the posterior side of our shoulder, post-delt, rhomboid. Make sure you're not only doing these on your exercise days, but also on those days off to get some good blood flow to the area. All right, Miss Elizabeth, let's start with our right arm. Let's posture our body up. We're gonna go arm across the body, hand right on the other side of the elbow, not here, on the other side of the elbow, arm straight. Clock is on. Let's go 30 seconds. Now remember, we're relaxing right now. Drop your shoulders, posture's tall. Give yourself slight pressure with that hand into the arm and you'll feel more of a stretch in the back of that shoulder. If you feel any pain at any point, you disengage, okay? Breathing through it, just relaxing, feeling the good stretch the back of that shoulder. Make sure, eyes to me, right shoulder's not up, right shoulder's down. Breathing freely, feeling that good deep stretch, relaxing, enjoying that stretch. All right, 2 seconds here. 1, and let's switch. Left arm, right hand comes to the back of the elbow. Notice Miss Elizabeth and myself both have our anchor and pressure point on this side of the elbow. I'm gonna repeat myself, not here. Press on the back side of the elbow, drop the left shoulder, getting a good lengthening of your post-delt and rhomboid. Just like our physical therapist, Tina, always tells us, it's important to get blood flow to these muscles of your upper back in order to keep them pliable. All right, here we go. 3 more seconds and we'll go to the last time on the right shoulder. Here we go, across. Notice also our arms are actually parallel to the floor. Shoulders down, elbow, wrist all aligned. I'm gonna go ahead, Miss Elizabeth, everyone here, give a little more pressure. Feel a good stretch, that shoulder. Excellent, continue to breathe. This is gonna loosen that upper back. A lot of us when we get fatigued and tired, that upper back starts to fatigue, feel tight. This is a great stretch in order to lengthen things back out. All right, here we go. Last time. Switching across. Left arm. Drop the shoulder. You can close your eyes if you need to. Breathe freely. Relax. Lengthening things back out. Staying tall the entire time. Just enough pressure to feel that stretch. All right, 15 seconds here, and we'll be finished. Lengthening things, calming the mind, allowing the body to relax and take what you can. All right, 3 more seconds here. And relaxing.
Shake it out.
Yes, ma'am. You should feel that lengthening into that back, those shoulders. Feel free to execute this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, as many as you need. You can't get enough. Let's take some time to execute a piriformis stretch on the right leg. Let's scoot toward the front of the chair. We're gonna cross our right leg across our left leg. Make sure the ankle's on the outside of the leg, the knee, not here. That's tough on the ankle. You're gonna take the joint on the opposite side. You wanna sit tall, butts back. We're gonna lean towards the right leg. You're also gonna put your right hand on the knee and slightly give pressure away. This is gonna stretch your, again, piriformis, your glute, your hip. This actual stretch will decrease the symptoms of sciatica. Also, if you have tight glutes into that low back, great exercise, or not exercise, stretch rather, to execute on a daily basis. All right, let's sit tall. Clock is on. We're gonna execute for 30 seconds on, and we'll take the tension off. We'll go 30 seconds back on. We'll take the tension off, and we'll go for a final 30 seconds on. A good deep stretch. Sitting tall. Anybody who sits on a daily basis, which is quite a few of us for an extended period of time, this is a great exercise to make sure your posterior chain, your low back, your hips stay pliable. Most of us deal with some type or form or amount of spasticity, so it's very important to make sure you're lengthening these muscles on a daily basis to make sure we stay healthy. Slowly ease out, relax, sitting back tall. Let's go ahead and lean into it, put pressure down. It's tightness through our muscles that add tension, unnecessary tension, to our joints. A lot of times that's what leads to imbalances, so it's important to make sure our soft tissue stays lengthened, and the way that we do that is through regularly stretching. It's very important to make sure to execute these stretches, particularly the piriformis stretch, after our kickbacks, our glute work, our hamstring work, not only directly after the exercise, everyone ease out, relax, right back in for the final time, but also the days succeeding the exercise. You will have some tenderness, tightness, soreness, because that's what progressive exercise, that's result-based, is all about. So using these stretches not only after the exercise, but during the week, very, very positive and good thing to do. Sitting nice and tall, leaning in, breathing freely, relaxing your shoulders, pressing through, lengthening out. Let's go 2 more seconds. Good form, Becky. Slowly easing all the way out, sitting tall, taking the tension off. Again, piriformis stretch, ankles over the leg. Execute it when you need a stretch out of that hip and glute. Let's execute a piriformis stretch on our left leg. Great for, you got it, the piriformis as well as the glute and the hip, lengthening things out, keeping ourselves away from spasticity in the muscle. Let's take our left leg across our right leg, scoot forward, sit tall. Notice again, Miss Becky and my ankle are on the outside of the leg. It's not here, that's tough on the joint. We're gonna sit tall, our butt's back. We're gonna lean into our left leg. Our left hand's gonna come to the front of the knee. We're gonna add pressure. Just enough pressure to feel that piriformis, the hip, good stretch. We're going 30 seconds on, then we'll disengage. All right, here we go. Pressure, clock is rolling. Again, gonna go 30 seconds on. We'll slowly ease out, relax. We'll give 30 more seconds of a stretch. We'll slowly ease out, and then we'll finish with another 30 seconds. Total of 1 minute and 30. Just breathe and relax, and making sure you're relaxing your shoulders, calming your mind, leaning into it. You shouldn't feel pain in your low back. You should just feel a stretch into the hip. Sitting tall. If you need more of a stretch, you can really lean forward into it. Take as much as you can, right? Lengthening these glutes out. All right, sitting tall, relaxing, taking the tension off. Sitting back tall, leaning to the left side, rocking with that stretch again. Becky, what exercises are this stretch particularly good to execute after?
Jeff, I'm glad you asked. This is good to exercise after the donkey kick.
There you
Any
go.
kind of glute exercises?
Yes, ma'am. I like hearing that. Picking up on when to execute these stretches. So those kickbacks, any type of glute work.
Especially the day after.
Yes, ma'am. Heart slow easing out. And the reason being the day after, because we may be tight, sit tall, back to left. We may be sore. And that is just the muscle adapting to the exercise. So you do want to lengthen things back out the day after, get blood flow back to the area, and again, keep that body away from that spasticity. Sitting tall, we all deal with spasticity, some with at greater than others, but it's important to make sure you're combating that with good, comfortable stretches. 2 more seconds here. Leaning in, whew, slowly easing on. Good deep stretching that left side, that piriformis, that glute, that hip. Executing it not only after the exercises, but as Miss Becky said, the day after or during the week at any time. Let's take some time here to stretch out our right hamstring. We're gonna sit towards the front of the chair. Let's go ahead and straighten our right leg all the way out, posture the body. Notice our toe, knee facing the ceiling. We're gonna go both palms on our right leg. Let's slowly slide the torso down towards the thigh. No need to really reach and stretch down to your toe. That's not what we're looking to do. Clock is rolling. We're going 30 seconds on. We'll disengage, 30 seconds back on, disengage, then one more 30 seconds. In a hamstring stretch, what you're really looking to do is take your torso down to your thigh. This whole reach and touch your toe thing, don't worry about that, right? All that's gonna do is make you shrug your shoulders, and it has nothing to do with actually getting some flexion out of the hip and stretching this hamstring. So think about just taking your face down towards your knee. Breathing freely, feeling a deep, good stretch. 3 more seconds, and everyone slowly easing out, sitting tall, bend the knee if you need to, taking some pressure off. Let's go ahead and sit tall. Take your chest, torso, nose down towards your knee. Breathing freely, keeping the leg straight, ankle flexed, only far enough down to feel a comfortable stretch. You should not feel discomfort here. What we like to say sometimes, even in the studio or in the PT office, is a comfortably uncomfortable stretch. Breathing freely, in through the nose, out through the mouth, keeping that ankle flexed. 2 seconds, slowly easing all the way out, sitting tall. One more time, leaning all the way down. Breathe all the way to the lungs, lengthening this posterior chain back out. Very important to stretch, right? Not only after exercise, but on a daily basis to keep that spasticity at bay or completely away. Also allows the pliable nature of the muscles so that the joints don't get too much tension into them. You stay healthy, strong, injury resistant. All right, 5 more seconds. Just relaxing, breathing, good stretch. Let's all slowly ease all the way out, taking the tension off that hamstring. Keeping that leg straight, again, taking the torso to the thigh. Don't worry about reaching down and forcibly trying to touch those toes. Let's take some time here to stretch out our left hamstring. Let's scoot to the edge of the seat, Miss Becky. Straighten your left leg all the way out. We want to flex the ankle, heel into the ground. Notice toe, knee facing up. Both hands on the right thigh. We know we're not focused on touching the toe. Let's take our chest down towards our thigh. Just want some flexion out of the torso. Clock is rolling. We're gonna go 30 seconds on. We'll ease out, 30 seconds on. Ease out, then 30 more seconds. Just relaxing, breathing, sinking down. Again, not worried about trying to touch the toe, just taking the chest and the nose towards your knee. That's gonna give you more of a stretch in the back of that leg. Again, hamstring is the back of the leg. It attaches up high underneath that rear end of the glute and comes all the way down to the back of the knee. In through the nose, out to the mouth. Gonna feel a stretch in your back as well here. 2 more seconds. 1, now everyone's slowly easing out, sitting tall, taking the tension off. Let's go ahead and ease right back down and in. Great exercise that can be done at the desk, can be done after your exercise, really and truly anywhere. Find somewhere to take a seat, straightening the leg out, focusing on the form, not forcing it, just getting a very comfortable stretch. Believe it or not, the hamstrings and the glutes are a culprit to a tight back. A lot of times people don't realize it, but stretching a tight hamstring and glute a lot of times will alleviate the stress and the tension into the lumbar. All right, sitting tall, disengage, last time, right back in. Thinking about taking that chest down to the thigh. Notice each time we disengage and then head back into the stretch, you may even be able to get down deeper and deeper. That's perfectly fine, okay? You just continue to take as much of a stretch as you can. Breathing, relaxing. Shouldn't feel any pain whatsoever in any of the joints, just a comfortable stretch. All right, 6 more seconds here. Just relaxing and breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth, comfortable stretch, disengaging, slowly sitting nice and tall. A comfortable lengthening of these hamstrings and that posterior chain leads to a pliable posterior chain and stress off that low back.
Welcome back, everyone. Before you leave, please make sure you perform all the exercises in this class 2 to 3 times this week and write down your results. Next week, we'll be performing completely new exercises that target a big issue most of us struggle with, foot drop. Post on a video of you exercising on the Facebook group, post your results, or just some positive words for others to see. We need community and positivity to fight this disease. See you next week.